Hello, my name is Gary Patty. I am the CSO of Panome Bio, and I'm here today for ChatGJP. The question is, how can metabolomics be used for biomarker discovery? I'd like to start answering this question by mentioning that really metabolomics is already used for biomarker screening. And that would be in the context of screening for inborn errors of metabolism. This is an approach that's sometimes referred to as newborn screening. So most babies that are born today, their heels, blood is collected from their heels, or their blood sample is collected, and that sample is subjected to mass spectrometry, and a number of different metabolites or lipids are profiled, and it's well established that those metabolites or lipids are associated with metabolic defects. And that's very important because if we can identify early on that those individuals have these metabolic abnormalities, then that individual can be treated or their diet can be adjusted accordingly. Okay, and there's a lot of different examples for which metabolites are screened from babies. And that's just in the area of newborn screening. We use metabolites to screen for all sorts of other diseases, some which are very familiar. The most common example is probably glucose for diabetes, elevated glucose. But there are other things now that can be markers of diabetes, like there's been some really beautiful work showing that branched chain amino acids are elevated, perhaps even prior to the onset of diabetes. So the idea of biomarker screening is to take samples from an individual and try to identify signals from that sample that either allow you to diagnose the individual with a particular condition, or in other cases, to understand that that individual is predisposed or is likely to develop that particular disease in the future. Okay, so there might be a marker that if you see that this particular metabolite or lipid is elevated in someone's samples, that maybe that predicts that later in life they're going to get a particular disease, or maybe it tells you that they already have a pathological defect. Okay, and again, this is important because the faster that we can recognize these conditions, the faster that we can treat them, and the faster that hopefully that individual can be feeling better, or some action can be taken in the clinic.